Hey guys, on today's video, I'm going to share with you what I've learned about logo design over the years working with award-winning designers for our client projects. Hang in here and I'm going to give you a couple of tips so that you know what to look for when you're getting your logo designed. Everybody knows when you're starting your business, one of the first things you got to do is come up with a great logo and branding treatment for your business. And this is an area where a lot of times people can struggle and sort of either not know where to start or they get into the weeds and things start getting a little weird. Now, we've done, I don't know how many logos over the last almost 10 years. And I've picked up a few things that I think are critical that I'm going to share with you today. The first thing is, and it kind of goes without saying, but a lot of times this gets lost. The imagery really needs to communicate the core value or benefit that your business provides to your customers. And sometimes that's a feeling or emotion. Sometimes it's a practical visual communication of what it is, but it really needs to hit that on the head. And that means you're probably going to have to take some time and really think about that verbally and write those things out, right? Like, what problem do you solve? What benefit, do you offer your consumer? Identify those, and those will lead you to the images. The next thing, and once you can kind of establish that, is to not try to crowd the thing down and make it too busy. One of the necessary evils of today's digital marketing world is your logo needs to perform in a variety of different applications online. It's got to be able to be like a little avatar and a favicon and all these profile pictures and things like that for your company. And to do that, that means that in general, it needs to be pretty simple and it needs to have some white space. So it can't be what I would say over-designed and function well in today's world. And some of the most valuable brands have logos that are extremely simple. And an example of that would be Nike. So think along those lines. Less is typically more. The next thing I want to share with you is one of my warnings about all marketing, but definitely applies to logo design, is really to avoid being overly clever, cutesy, or cliche. I think those are like the 3 C's that you don't want to do in marketing: cutesy, clever, and cliche. So be warned now that those are typically not directions to go. So you ask, well, then what direction should I go in? And here's the answer. Clear, overt communication is always best. So instead of trying to create a mental puzzle for people that are seeing your logo, or for that matter, engaging with any of your market messaging, make it completely straight and easy for people to understand. That's always the best. Clear communication that people can understand at a glance is always going to be a win. So avoid those 3 C's, cutesy, clever, or cliche in your logo design and in all of your marketing. All right, and the last thing I want to say is remember to imagine your drafts that you're looking at. You may be evaluating logos right now while you're watching this video. Imagine those in use in the situations where you're going to use them. Like, what are they going to look like on a business card? How's that going to drive your website design? How are those going to look in these, profiles and other things that we just discussed? Is that design actually going to function and work in those instances, right? So imagine them in the situations that they're going to be used and, test them maybe in those environments. Get a little, most designers will give you mock-ups and things like that. You want to look at all that and see how the logo drafts are actually playing out. All right. And the last thing I can say is take your time. Logo design, brand development. Sometimes, if I look at the timeline I share with you guys, we may spend more time on that than actually building the whole darn website for a client project, because that is something that once it's done, you have to live with for many, many years until you do, perhaps a revision or a little bit of an update. But sometimes that could be even 5 to 10 years before that happens. The website, and these other things that you're kind of in a rush to get to are living documents that, once you get up and going, you're constantly revising them anyways. But that logo is something that you're going to have to be married to and be happy with. And it needs to work for your brand and for your company's growth from today and forward. So the last thing I say is take your time with it, but also imagine, does this going to be relevant and work for me in 5 years? If my company is as big as I want it to be, is this still going to be the logo that's going to carry it that distance? Is it powerful enough visually to stand the test of time, right? Is it too trendy? That's another thing to, watch out for as I think about, longevity. Too trendy might become a little obsolete and kind of corny looking in a short time. So watch out for that. But take your time with it. Enjoy. It's one of the coolest processes of developing your business. But, you want to take my tips today and perhaps more, work with a great designer, make sure you're working with good people, and I'm sure you'll have a great outcome with that. Catch us on the next one. Go ahead and like and subscribe to the channel and to this video so you don't miss the next take of Quick and Dirty Marketing.